Good evening. My name is Ruby Dayandayo and I'm going to discuss our research title, which is Multiple Intelligence Analysis of Second Year BSA Students at UST, a basis of recommending effective teaching strategies. The introduction is composed of abstract, background of the study, statement of the problem, theoretical framework, significance of the study, scope and delimitation of the case, operational definition of terms, and summary of the related studies. In the abstract, it is, or, uh, it is conducted at the University of Santo Tomas, and our research paper is composed of 50 second-year BSA students at the AMV College of Accountancy. The background of the study is that many of the instructors have had experience of not being able to reach the students unless they provide a new option for students to understand it more clearly, and this has been an epidemic all over the world. The senses are the primary portals to learning, and that's why Howard Gardner established the theory of multiple intelligences for the instructors are able to help the students understand the lessons clearly. According to Patricia Weber, author of the A Portrait of Student Fail in the Philippines, students that have studied from the province may have practiced different learning styles and have developed their own intelligences. And this study also finds out we aim to find out what type of intelligences is most dominant in the majority of the second year BSA students in AMV College of Accountancy. The statement of the problem. This study aims to know the frequently used intelligence. It specifically answers the questions that what is the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of age and gender, how many respondents are there in each type of intelligence, what are the top 3 intelligences and what is the least, and how does multiple intelligence by Howard Gardner explain the results. Theoretical framework. According to Howard Gardner, it is proposed that the notion that human beings have not just they don't have one type of intelligence but several. Previously, intelligence has been defined by measurable results on standardized intelligence tests. Later, he added an 8th intelligence and has suggested 2 others, and that are still explored by Gardner in 1999. Linguistic verbal intelligence perceives and responds to voice tones, tempo, rhythm, and word sounds. Um, the future careers of this intelligence would be singing and so on and so forth. Linguistic and verbal intelligence perceives and responds to voice tones. Theoretical framework. According to Howard Gardner, he proposed that the notion that human beings have not just one type of intelligence but several. Previously, intelligence has been defined by measurable results on standardized intelligence tests. Gardner described 7 different types of intelligence in 1983. Later, he added 8 intelligences and has suggested 2 others that are still being explored, according to him in 1999. Linguistic verbal intelligence perceives and responds to voice tones, tempo, rhythm, and word sounds. Logical mathematical intelligence uses abstract symbols easily, good at logical problem solving, formulates and tests hypotheses. Musical intelligence learns through listening and remembers response to a variety of sounds including human voice, environmental sounds, music, recognizes musical styles, collects music or musical information, interests in musical instruments and other sound-making devices. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence explores and learns through touch and movement and has a natural sense of coordination, balance, grace, dexterity, and timing. Visual spatial intelligence learns by watching, observing, recognizing shapes and colors, and reproduce them through artwork, perceives three-dimensional shape, space, and his place in it accurately. Interpersonal intelligence bonds and interacts easily with others, forming social relationships, relates to others in a variety of ways, easily perceives the thoughts, feelings, motivations, and behaviors of others. Intrapersonal intelligence, aware of his range of emotions and finds appropriate expressions, outlets for them. And naturalist intelligence has a tendency to classify and discriminate among elements in complex system. Spiritual intelligence gravitates towards religion, theology, mysticism, and the transcendent. And existential intelligence concerns with ultimate issues, continuity of spirit between lifetimes, sense of relationship with beings of other planes, and the cosmos. The scope of the limitation of this study. This study is descriptive in nature and is focused on second-year basic students in the University of Santo Tomas. This research sample consists of 50 students, all with 26 males and 24 females. The primarily used in gathering the data needed is through survey initiation, distributing it by random 50 second-year basic students. The study is delimited to second-year basic students only taking the Bachelor of Science in Accountancy in the University of Santo Tomas, relating their intelligence to the theory of multiple intelligences proposed by Howard Gardner. The significance of the study. This research paper will benefit the following stakeholders of education. The students will be more aware of their intelligences and will be able to motivate them to find their materials, and that will help them understand and produce greater learning. And then the instructors will be able to render scholarly motivation through the use of supplementary study materials with the incorporation of teaching strategies that will help the students learn their lessons. The operational definitions of terms consists of existential intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, linguistic verbal intelligence, and visual spatial intelligence. We only have these four because this is the most dominant and the least intelligence that has resulted from our surveys. The summary of related studies. According to the multiple intelligence-based instruments in secondary English, Kidapawan City National High School on May 2012 by shows high school correlations with the bodily kinesthetic group of the students that they learn best doing the activity. And the survey with the multiple intelligence based on assessment shows that students with musical inclination was doing well coordinated ability of tactile kinesthetic ability, or the presence of both intelligence. Then the multiple intelligence, what does the research say? 2013 says that having understanding of different teaching approaches from which we can learn. They also stated that providing different contexts for students and engaging a variety of the sense and of their senses. The Journey to Excellence research summary says that Gardner's model of multiple intelligences is only a theory and it is not rooted hard on evidence. The theory of multiple intelligences has proved to be an influential model in schools and has been used by educators to reflect what we see as important in learning. Smart Kids and App, Multiple Intelligence by Joy Angelica T. Subido states that every child has the capacity to be smart, but the teacher's role is a vital role. They need to be creative, enthusiastic, such to be able to successfully encourage students to want to learn. The multiple intelligence of grade 5 pupils basis for the proposed learning with enhancement program of David Elementary School by Divina G. No came up with 4 findings. Every child can be considered and to possess the 8 multiple intelligences in varying degrees. These intelligences can be enhanced through creative strategies, appropriate instructional materials, and a stimulating and nurturing environment. Pupils' performance in the different subjects areas will remarkably improve if activities inspired by the multiple intelligence theory will be integrated in the lessons. Using Gardner's multiple intelligence theory as a basis of preparing the multiple intelligence module is one approach to revolutionize the traditional and revolutionary teaching and learning process in the Philippine context. To introduce the methodology of our research, I introduce to you Krishna Balitay.
I'm Maria Krishna Baliday to introduce you the methodology. Our research design is descriptive design, which analyzes the dominant intelligences among the respondents. As a research design, it focuses on the present condition. It only describes the results. For sources of data and respondents, we used Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence, which consists of logical, visual, existential, musical, interpersonal, verbal, bodily kinesthetic, and naturalist. In instrument, we conducted population survey, which in 50 respondents represents the general population of the second-year BSA students. For data gathering procedure, we distributed questionnaires portraying the demographic profile of the respondents, which were the age and gender, and to be able to analyze their intelligence, we gave situations which are connected to the 9 theories of intelligence. For statistical treatment, frequency distribution and percentage analysis with the formula of x over n times 100, wherein x is equal to frequency and n is equal to number of respondents. And for the results and discussion, I introduce Edward Lim.
I am Edward John Lim to discuss to you the results and discussion. As stated earlier by Jerby Dayao, one of our problems were what is the demographic profile of the students in terms of age. It can be seen that one respondent was 16 years old, 15 of them were 17, 24 of them were 18, 7 of them were 19, and 3 were 20. Because of the objectivity of this survey, which respondents were randomly chosen, and with 16 to 20 years old is the 16 to 20 years old is the normal range of second year BSA students. What is the demographic profile in terms of gender? The female respondents were 24 and the male respondents were 26. Even though most second-year BSA students are female, we divided the survey by half to be able to get the same side of male and female respondents. According to researchers, gender has differences in the formation of and the function of the brain. What are the top 3 intelligences and what is the least used among them? The top 3 most dominant multiple intelligences are intrapersonal, existential, and visual. The weakest among all is verbal. How many respondents are there in each type of intelligence? A total of 165 over 250, which is 66% of the total respondents, was existential. 168 over 250 for intrapersonal, 142 over 250 for interpersonal, 137 out of 250 for kinesthetic, 131 out of 250 for logical, 148 out of 250 for musical, 142 out of 250 for naturalistic, 108 out of 250 for verbal, and lastly, 159 out of 250 for visual. We have distributed a total of 50 survey forms, each consisting of 45 situations, and that of the 45 There are 5 situations of each type of intelligence. Therefore, there are 250 items for each intelligence. It is where we computed the percentage of each intelligence. And here to discuss the conclusion and recommendation is Yuta Sakaguchi.
I am Yuta Guevara Sakaguchi, and I am here to discuss to you the conclusion and the recommendation part. The conclusion: the researchers conclude that most of the second-year BSA students possess an interpersonal, existential, and visual intelligences. They also conclude that students of AMV practice the same situations during class when it comes to studying their lessons. The recommendation: based on the conclusion above, the researchers recommend that the students should be evaluated with initial multiple intelligence assessment in order for the instructors to evaluate their lesson plans and improve the performance of the class. That's all. Thank you.